Okay, Jason asked me about processing thumbnails and banners, and there are thumbnail processors, but they oftentimes leave you with a less than desirable crop um, when you're done. Um, so I want to take a look at another way of doing this, actually using the Photoshop image processor. I'm going to bring up Photoshop, and what we can do is first we have to go to Window, make sure that our History dialog box is open, and then click on Actions. And we're going to actually create a script. We're going to come down here where it says Create a New Set. We're going to call this Horizontal Crop. Okay. And then we're going to come down here and we're actually going to start recording a new script. Create new action. I click on that. Action 2, horizontal crop, that's fine. We're going to start recording. So I'm going to open an image. And we'll pick one that's sitting on the desktop. Try this one here. And that's an image of Colt. It's kind of a crappy image, but probably made with a phone. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to just take a look at the image size here, just for fun. It's 1200 pixels wide. Let's just say that we want to create banners or thumbnails that are perhaps 400 by 200 pixels. I'm going to change this number to something like 450 because sometimes some images you have a black stripe down the side. You need a little bit extra. I'm going to change that to 450, and I'm going to leave this on constrained proportions so that it changes it proportionally. Go ahead and resize that image. Okay, that looks like that. I'm going to hit Command plus. We're going to get it back up to 100%. So this image is actually sitting on a canvas, and now we can make a change to the canvas size. We're going to say Image, Canvas Size. I'm going to come in here and change this to pixels. We're going to put in 400 by 200 pixels. And then this magic little box down here allows us to choose where from the image we are going to select those 400 by 200 pixels. But here's the good news. The whole image now is only 450 pixels wide. We have a pretty good chance of getting these three individuals in the crop if we just choose the center crop. If we choose, for instance, the top center crop, we would only get this portion of the image up here, totally useless. So we're going to pick the center and we're going to say OK. Canvas size is going to be smaller than the current canvas size, fine. And here's the crop. Now that looks pretty good. We could live with that as a banner. Now we're going to save that, and we'll have an opportunity. I'm going to call it Colt. We'll save that to the desktop. We'll have an opportunity to adjust the quality of this. It's high right now. We could make it the highest possible. We can make it at 12, and we've saved that image. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to come down to our action script here and stop recording. Okay, so you'll notice that we've created horizontal crop called Action 2 and a whole bunch of Photoshop adjustments. I'm going to close this image and we're going to take a look at doing a batch process now. I'm going to go to File, Automate, Batch, and that's going to bring up this box, this dialog box. So I could pick one of many different kinds of scripts to play, but we created horizontal crop. We call it Action 2. we're going to choose an input folder, and we'll go to the desktop here, and I'm going to pick this one that is mixed images. Okay, this has horizontal, vertical, some square images. Let's just see what it does to a whole group of images. I'm going to click on this button that says Override Action Open Commands so that the script runs smoothly and doesn't stop each time it opens a file, our destination file. Let's see if we can find a file here that's called output 1. We'll choose that. Down here we can pick the document name, all kinds of different formats. We're going to leave the document name and the extension the same. We'll start off with a serial number of 100 so that if we do 100 images, it's going to count up 101, 102. Each one's going to have a slightly different name. So at this point, we're going to watch what happens. I'm going to click OK, and you're going to see all of these images opened by Photoshop, resized by Photoshop, and then custom center cropped by Photoshop. And they're done. So let's take a look at what they look like. Output number 1. Here's the file. These don't look half bad. I mean, at least with this one, I mean, you can still see the guy's face. This looks terrific. Excellent, excellent. We'll open one of these and take a look at it. I mean, that's a pretty good looking thumbnail or banner. And we've created these using this script in a matter of seconds. Now here's one where it didn't work so well. We cut off the guy's head. That was probably a vertical image. Same thing here. Okay, so you can look at this a couple ways. You can say, well, 90-some% of these look great. We'll just go in and do the other ones by hand. But actually, that's not necessary. There's another way around that. I'm going to go back into Photoshop, and I'm going to close down this horizontal crop group, and I'm going to pick a vertical crop. Now, you remember where we had those 9 choices. The only thing different with this script is that we selected the center top portion for the cropping. Now, if you take a look at vertical images, and here's some here, you'll see that the vast majority of them have the subject matter that you really care about in the top 1/3 of the image. Here, here, and that's typical of portraits. So what you can do is you can actually separate your horizontal from your vertical images that you want to process and just run them separately, and you'll get a better result. So we're going to give that a shot. File, Automate, Batch, okay, and then we're going to come up here, and now we're going to pick the vertical crop, which was Action 1. We're going to choose an input folder, which are these vertical images. We've clicked Override Action, Open Commands, choose the destination folder, okay, and we'll choose output 2 this time. Okay, same thing with document name, override, save commands. I'm going to move this off to the side. We're going to minimize Photoshop for a second. I'm going to open up this output 2 folder so that you can actually watch these as they are being created. I'm going to go ahead and hit the OK button on the batch dialog box and come on down here and watch these be created on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's done at certainly less than 5 seconds. So here's the results that we got with a vertical crop. This looks pretty good because there's Haley and Carl. That looks pretty good. We got the people in the shots. Okay, here's Maya. And even this one, which was a vertical shot, came out pretty well. Okay, so if we process the vertical shots and the horizontal shots separately, we can achieve that kind of result. So if I go back to Photoshop and look at this, we basically have all the default actions that Photoshop gives you in terms of action scripts. And now we've had the two that we've added, the vertical crop and the horizontal crop. And we can use those over and over and over again as long as the number of pixels that we're trying to output is the same. And even if they're not the same, there are ways to go in and edit those action scripts, but that's a subject for another day. Photoshop has worked well for this particular problem, and over the long run can save us a lot of time. All right, so hope that's helpful, and thanks for listening.